know those motherfucking thing. It's time to flow. The scientific's back. Yo, what is that? Act like you know if you attend to the scientist, you're a sitting duck. And if you're next to the mic, get out of there before you're ripped up.
You will need the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 CPK directory, yet another CPK extractor, or YACE for short, EMD FBX, and EMB pack. Other programs also include something like Paint.net, which will actually read your DYTs and EMBs respectively, XenoXML converter, Notepad++, so you can read the EMMs when it's converted to XMLs, and finally you're going to need Blender. Any version of Blender will work. For this tutorial we are using Blender 5.0. The first step you want to do is go into your CPK directory and grab the data CPK and drag it into YACE. I've already done this, so there's no really need for me to do it again. Since I've already done this again, I'm actually going to show you where I keep my extracted CPKs. We'll go into this folder directory, and as you can see, there is a folder called extracted CPKs. Go into the extracted CPKs folder that you have created, and go into Data, Kara, and find the folder that you want to use. For this example, we want to use the HUM folder. Highlight all of the ESKs, DYTs, EMBs, EMDs, and EMM files that you want to use. For example, we want all of these and paste them into a folder that we want to use. As an example, we are going to drag this with right click and paste this to the EMD FBX folder. Click the ESK file, hit Ctrl, then select the EMD file that you want to use. Drag and drop these into the EMD FBX file. And there you go. If your EMBs and your DYTs did not convert into a DDS format, what you can do is grab the dyt.emb, then the EMB itself, and drag them into EMB pack. Keep in mind that one of them is going to convert them into a DDS format, so you have to do this manually by one single file. In order to use the EMM file that you want to use, grab the EMM file and drag it into XenoXML converter. This will turn it into a file that Notepad++ can read. Open up Paint.net, then select File, Open. Then we want to go into our EMD FBX folder to find our DYT and our EMB. So we're going to Eternity Tools, Lib Xenoverse Master, Lib Xenoverse, EMD FBX, and we're going to select the hum000 boots file and selecting it. The same thing can be done for our dyt.embs as well. Open up Notepad++, then go to File, Open, then go to the folder where you got your EMM.ymp .xml file. Once again, we are going to Eternity Tools, lib Xenoverse master, lib Xenoverse, emd fbx, and we're going to select the hum000 boots.emm.xml file. This gives you the material that you're going to need for Blender, and the mat scale 1x line will give you the type of DYT that you're going to need. In this case, it is 0. How does one actually know what to use if the DYT is 0? Well, let me show you how to... What exactly does mat scale 1x equals 0 mean? Well, the reason why it is like that is because Xenoverse 2 uses a 0 to x range. So, you're going to be counting from 0 to 1 to 2 and so on and so forth. So for this example, I have Bond's DYT from Xenoverse 2 Revamp, and I'm going to count from this DYT to this DYT. So we're going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open up Blender and select File, Import, and select the FBX or the FBX Legacy option. If you don't want to use either of these options, I recommend using the Cat's Blender plugin, which I will provide in the description below. Hit N on your keyboard, select Cats, then go to this 3 lines and click on it. Select FBX, then we want to go to the folder where our import is. So we're going to the desktop, Eternity Tools, lib Xenoverse master, lib Xenoverse, emd fbx, and select the FBX that you want to import into Blender. And there you go. Since our import is actually looking at the floor, we do not actually want that to happen. So we're going to do the same thing that we just did right now. Except this time, we want to actually change a few settings. Hit Manual Orientation, then change Z forward minus to Z forward. Click on the Armature tab and select Automatic Bone Orientation. This will import the FBX in a proper way that Blender can actually read, and so that you won't have to deal with this thing looking at the floor like so. If you want to use the textures in Blender but don't know how, let me actually show you how to do this. Go to the Shading tab, in my case it's NPR, select the model that you want to use, in my case it is the 000 boots, or in this case it's feet. Go into the Shading Editor and delete the Normal Map node along with the Principled BSDF node. Hit Shift A, then look for a Mix Color node. Back in the day, this used to be called the Mix RGB, but now it is the Mix Color node. Connect this to the material output and set the B value to pure black. Hit Shift A again and look for a brightness contrast node. Set the color to the factor and set the contrast to 100. hit Shift A again, select image texture, and connect the alpha of the image texture node into the brightness contrast color socket. Open the image texture node, then go into the folder that you got your EMBs from. Once again, it is on my desktop, so we're going to grab everything that we're going to need once more. Select the data00.dds, or any texture that will work with the UVs. Go to the viewport, hit Z on your keyboard, and select rendered. Now your model has the textures, but it does not have color. This final step is actually an optional step, but I'm actually going to show you guys how I do my Xenoverse 2 cell shading as a little snippet. We're going to hit Shift A, and I'm going to find a group that I've made called dot creation, which I have studied from Arthas Varus's Arc System Works shader. We're going to select the n.l, which is basically fake shading. Select a less than node. Set the threshold to 0. Duplicate the mix node. And set the value of the less than into the factor socket of the mix node. Then we want to use the result from this mix color and set it as the A value of our mix node for our textures. And that's it. Another thing you can do is you can actually set an outline with the model using geometry nodes. Let us go into the modifiers tab, add a modifier, and we're going to assign a solidify geonode modifier that I have created. This already has the outline for the material, and what you can do is set the thickness to whatever thickness we want. In this case, I want it to be, we'll settle 2.001. As you can see on the toes, we can actually see the outline actually working on the model. This is also optional in case people want to know how to use geometry nodes for the inverted hole method. With all that squared away, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, or don't, I don't really care. And maybe in the future I'll make more videos like this. See you guys later.
To the beat, y'all.
Check it out.
Come on. 1, 2.
Yo.
What you gonna do?